go. Time to get up, let's go. We are about to head out on our Mexico trip to check out a catamaran named Imi Loa, which has a pretty big history in Southern California. Built in the 60s, and it's in our price range. We were really excited to see this boat, but we were just as excited to go on a road trip and see a part of Mexico we haven't seen before. So we're pretty stoked to get on the road and do some packing here today.
Packing means 2 minutes of throwing clothes in a duffel bag and almost 2 hours of food prep. After driving 6 hours that night, we slept at a rest stop in the middle of nowhere, Arizona.
Get up, let's go.
We spent a couple hours at this cool little coffee shop, Desert Oasis in Tucson, getting some work done. Finding new coffee spots is one of my favorite things to do.
We realized right before leaving that Lauren's passport expired in the middle of our trip, so we had to scramble to get it renewed before leaving.
And of course, no one checks it at the border.
That was kind of crazy. We didn't get stopped at all. There was no barrier to entry. Let's hope our car makes
Life is easier than we think.
Yeah. Now all the signs are in Spanish, so. The United States.
We could talk about why we're stopping at a Volkswagen dealership in the middle of mainland Mexico.
Why are we stopping at a Volkswagen dealership in mainland?
Because it would be a good idea to check the coolant right after we had driven 2 hours in 90-degree heat.
If you own a VW, you get it. You have a love-hate relationship with your car. Ours was notorious for leaking coolant all over the place.
Among a million other things.
Eyes are a liquid.
I went to dump my coffee. I came back and saw steam like billowing up out of the car. And Kirk yelling expletives.
What happens next?
In 300 meters, slide right onto Circunvalación.
Circunvalación? Oh, Circunvalación. Yeah, you do. The hotel was so much nicer than we thought it was going to be. It was more of a resort than just a motel.
So I just paid for our second night. We got down here a little bit later than we had intended to last night after a few hours driving in the darkness. Luckily we didn't hit any cattle crossing the street, no car swallowing potholes. All is good.
It's like ready to
Good
take off.
morning, Sea of Cortez. Pretty stoked to go take a look, see how Imi Loa is going to be. Freaking hot in here. What do you think?
Oh, the inside's homey. The outside makes me think this poor boat. Fast elbows. Huh. Got a lot of good books. Wait, where's the double berth?
There, right there. Look at that. That's moving. I was going around knocking on the hull. The paint was rubbing off of my fingers.
My first impression?
Mm-hmm.
It's a shitload of work. Which isn't a bad thing, but it had squishy top sides.
Getting beat up by the sun. There's some bubbling in spots.
Yeah, you said there's dry rot.
That was just on the first walkthrough, so.
I don't know, it's hard because we've talked about it so much. I said that we would know in the first 10 minutes if it was worth investigating more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you want to take a walk around the yard real quick?
Sure.
And just see what else is here?
Yeah.
See who we might bump into? Alright, let's do that. Should have brought gloves.
Did you say gloves or floss?
Gloves.
That looks like a well-run boat.
Yeah. We just took a quick walkthrough and then we wanted to see who we might run into.
Yeah, what's your name?
Kirk and
Kirk?
Lauren. Yeah.
My name's Brad.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So you're looking at Imi Loa, they're looking to sell it, huh?
Yeah.
Been sitting in the sun a long time. That boat needs to be picked up and turned around. Maybe tented with this black shit you see.
Yeah, we were just looking at that one over there. They did a real good job wrapping that up. That sun really, there's quite a bit of rot on that hull that's seen the sun all day.
That's just been glamming.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it can't be fixed.
Right.
You know, it just depends on how good you are or how much money you got. You're pretty handy, you know. What do you do for a living?
Don't work on boats for a living, that's for sure. I think I'm kind of wishing that they made the decision to sell it about a year and a half ago, though.
Yeah, it's a nice boat. It's a good boat.
Yeah.
Real famous boat. It's pretty fast.
Yeah. I think it's a little more work than what we might have anticipated, at least initially.
Yeah, you're gonna have to open her up. Right now, the way they've taken care of it, it's gonna have to go to the right person.
Tell me, baby, what have I done?
When we pulled into the parking lot, did it reach out and grab you when you first saw it? Because if we're both not excited about it, then it doesn't matter if there's any work or no work.
Yeah. I don't know. I almost didn't have a first impression.
Yeah, it didn't jump out and grab me when I first looked at it. It did online. It was in the water. It was all pretty. And
Yeah.
this is definitely
It's at its worst right
always
now.
going to be at its worst, and the boat's not in the water. So we just spent a day at the yard. What are your thoughts?
We haven't found a boat. Well, we came down here to see one boat, and that wasn't the good part. The good part was meeting all these people and seeing all these other boats. So it was time well spent.
We were pretty bummed that Imi Loa wasn't going to work out, but later that week after we got home, we saw a catamaran that was for sale right in Oceanside.
Less than 2 miles from our house. We called the seller.
He told us he was taking another couple out for a sale, so
We hopped on our bikes and joined them out on the test sail.
Cerita was a little more minimalist than we would have liked. It was pretty Spartan on the interior.
Yeah, she was basically a giant Hobie cat.
There was just the bare basics for living.
I think if you spread your elbows out, one elbow would hit one side of the hull and the other one would hit the other.
It totally would. She was a pretty sporty catamaran. It was really built for speed more than luxuries. I remember talking with him, and he said there's 3 things for a boat: price,
Comfort.
and speed. He said that he built the boat to be cheap and to be fast, and it showed. We would definitely
Difficult.
be like Kevin Costner in Waterworld, which is a dream of mine, so it was kind of okay. I was okay with it. I was pushing for this boat. Did we get it?
Did we get the boat? No, we didn't get the
We didn't get the boat.
Search goes on.